duplicate, I would appreciate. I can make it cheaper and way worse than you. And when people buy it, it's even worse.
People are furniture.
Select market is on it.
Even then, you see the furniture is very similar. I mean, they like to call it modern, but it's not really modern.
It is not. When you are learning something, don't look at the pay package, don't look at the working hours, learn.
Today I have with me Devyani Gupta. We are here in Vakr Studio to talk about the new age transformation that they have done with their furniture range. And we are here to talk about how this idea of contemporary furniture mixed with Indian context came and how they are going to go forward with this entire range and how do they see Vakr being in every corner of the country. Hi.
Hi Utsav, how are you?
Very well. Excited to have this conversation. Although we've spoken for good 40 minutes already.
But I will always start with that line. So, just a minor correction. It's not all over the country but all over the world. We are going worldwide shipping and we would be exhibiting in Venice in Italy this season.
Oh, wow.
So, we're very, very excited about that as well. So, yes, it is worldwide, not pan country.
Okay. I'm correcting myself. Vakr Studio will be everywhere. Homegrown Indian designers with their beautiful furniture range are going to be everywhere all across the globe. Okay. So, to start with, how was Vakr born? You have been in practice for so many years, and then from practice to pivoting into furniture studio, how did that come?
So I think people who've been following Vakr for a long time already know of our story. It is a COVID-born brand, honestly, in the sense our furniture takes a lot of research, 4, 5, 6 years. So it was somewhere at the back of our minds the last 10 years. But during COVID, we finally had some time to collate the entire thing together and finally say, yaar, ab karte hain. It was a bold decision at that time because everything was going down and we decided to invest more of it. But yes, at that time, it was difficult to get hold of artisans, of workshops. We had to do most of the things on our own. But yes, at that time when we finally sat down together, we said, yes, let us launch our first product. And that is when we exhibited in Raw 2020. And the reason why we came up with that was because in our practice, what I saw was that being in India, we tend to use furniture all around the globe. Like I'm sitting here, I wouldn't know where I'm sitting. Am I sitting in Italy? Am I sitting in Thailand? Where am I sitting? Because the furniture is the same. I could be in Bombay, Delhi. There is no difference. And India as a country has such fine nuances where even a little painting in the wall can tell you where we are because it's of that region, of that. Somehow
it represents that culture.
Somehow it went missing in the middle.
Yeah.
It just went missing. We thought it's not that great, it has no value and while I found it very strange because outside people were really chanting about how things should be global. I said no, it should be contextual. We should know where we are. It's a beautiful heritage which we are forgetting. So we said, why not combine both? Because we need to move forward. We don't need to stay in that era. So yes, with this thought, we said, let's combine both. And that's why 2020 Vakr was born with this one thought.
Okay, so since you mentioned artisans, I am curious to understand that how do you collaborate with artisans to create something like this? Because if I look at the shape of this, right? I understand a lot of research would have gone just to create and finalize this design. Okay. How does the collaboration work in terms of materials and working with artisans to create this one beautiful piece that we are sitting with?
So one thing is listen to the artisan. If he's saying nahi kaam karega, let us do it that way. We listen. It's not something that we tell them aise karo aur wo log kar denge. It's a dialogue. With a lot of prototypes that takes place. So I remember for the first piece, I think we must have wasted 10 prototypes.
I was going to ask you that.
10 prototypes, mask pehen ke, wapas jao, wapas karo, meeting the artisans also. We were so scared because obviously they are in living in denser parts of the pockets, and it's a little scary. कि अच्छा ठीक है, you're going and meeting them, but फिर भी करना पड़ता है. But the other thing is that so we create something first. We give them a prototype we have created in house with other materials. And then we go speak to them, okay, this is the shape we want. And then they tell us, okay, this is the base that you can provide, this would be more stable. So it's always a collaboration. It's never, just one single thought, mujhe ye karna hai to karna hai. So it's, like I said, it's 5 years. So one point, then we stop, we say, how will we do it? Then it goes cold turkey. Then one day we'll be sleeping and we'll come up with something, oh, it can be done that way. Then we again reconnect with all the artisans. For some reason, I would say, I don't know why, we are lucky, they remember us. They're like, वापस आ गए. We're like, yes, हम वापस आ गए. So yeah, it's a long process, but it's a to and fro. So there have been times that we've completely changed our design because of their input. So it's something which is very informative. We get to know a lot of things. It's very endearing also because they remember us. And it's something different. And they're very enthused about it. Maybe they remember because it's something different. It's not run of the mill. So they remember. So even the shape and all, there are some points where we are absolutely stuck कि करना ही करना है, आप जैसे भी करो करो. So it gives them a little bit of motivation कि इसको करके दिखाएंगे हम आपको. So then they do it. It's really fun actually, the process.
So has there been any furniture piece that was the most challenging for you to do?
Leher itself was the most challenging because we did not know what material. I think we failed at 4 or 5 materials. There were a lot of artisans who could not give us what we wanted, and we were not very sure that this is the product we want to present. This is not the first product we want to present. So Leher, I think, was very, very challenging. Then we came up with Dravam. Now Dravam, I think, was very, very challenging in terms because it was a collaboration between 6 artisans. तो एक का करते थे, फिर दूसरे के पास जाते थे, फिर तीसरे के पास जाते थे. Yet the main core concept has to remain, like the USP of it, how we started. So it was a nightmare, and that is why it is a limited edition. It's the toughest one.
The story behind limited edition
It's a nightmare to make it. Like when you look at the piece, no one will believe how much of time, effort and energy of the artisans is going into it, and of us collaborating with different types of artisans. Like there's a sculptor, there is us as designers, there's an engraver, there are Madhubani, Pichwari artists, then there are special painters who paint on that. So it's a massive amount of collaboration and to happen, and people are like, 2 mahine mein furniture mil jayega. I'm like, no, not possible. It takes time.
So how much time do you generally give to people? How much time do you
So for other pieces, yes, 2 months is possible because there is streamlining. That is where modern technology comes into place, honestly. But for Dravam, it's about 4 months.
And for Leher?
Leher, so generally we do keep it in stock because people want it ASAP, but about 2 months. 2 months with some things already kept as inventory.
So when the first product that you came up with was Leher,
Yes.
right? And was it, like you mentioned, that you listen to what the artisans have to say, then you take the call, and sort of it's like a dialogue. So was Leher the first original idea that you had in furniture?
Yes.
So the idea stayed intact, the details changed.
For 10 years, yes, it stayed intact.
And how come this whole idea of starting a furniture line came into your head 10 years back?
I have done my master's in territorial designs from IAM, and there we learned about different scales. They said don't be scared of scale. It can be this tiny and it can be an urban design. So somewhere in that learning process, it was like whatever idea you have. Now don't think it kahan atega, kaise hoga. If you have it in that scale in the urban fabric, maybe it will work well in a furniture design. So somewhere the exposure that I got somewhere of fluidity, of organic art and architecture. I always say art and architecture because I don't think both of them are apart. So that fluidity remained in, and unfortunately at that time, we are first generation architects. Neither were we getting those sort of clients. And neither had India, that sort of work had not come in India, and I was not able to put it at that scale. So I said, अगर वो नहीं तो let's try it in a smaller scale. We'll see the other scales later on. So we started with started putting it in our projects little by little, but it was not making that impact. So then we decided that maybe furniture might work for us, and it has. Also with furniture, it's a scale which you can really experiment with. It's not something that if it's
not
just
an
one.
architectural skill.
Yeah, it's not that एक wall कर दी तो कर दी, it's something which each piece can be different.
And try things out.
So it's something which is very versatile. I think the scale of furniture is very, very versatile. And I think as a piece, it makes a lot of difference to a space.
My personal POV on furniture is that the current trend that we have in India, that it's all golden. Metallic furniture and everything is literally the same. आप कीर्ति नगर में जाओ सारा furniture
गलत market है जाने का.
I'm just saying because for the end consumer, like designers know where to go, but for an end consumer who's not a designer, if they ask something कि यार दिल्ली में furniture कहाँ खरीदना है, they'll be like कि अगर सस्ता खरीदना है कीर्ति नगर जाओ, महंगा खरीदना है MG Road से ताजपुर चले, right? Even then you see कि the furniture is very similar, gold and velvet के fabrics used किए हुए हैं, just that, right? Metals हैं and the same. I mean, they like to call it modern, but it's not really modern.
It is not.
It is not, and it's just कि a lot of copy paste. That is my opinion on what furniture is coming out. And now what Vakr has done is we've completely like bombed it out. कि देखो ये सब नहीं होता. We are Indians, and I think in Indian context, when we are designing something for an Indian consumer, it has to show.
Great.
I think that's what Vakr has done. Okay, and now you're also saying that you're taking India across, which I think is lovely. Other countries should know that Indian designers are doing fabulous work.
Yes.
And instead of us sourcing from Italy, Italians should source from India.
Yes, very much, very much. I don't understand. We have premium wood.
Yeah.
We have premium labor.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Why are we sourcing it from there? Because they're premium machinery which can come here rather than us. First, we are taking our raw materials, processing it there, and then they're selling it to us. Right? It's very smart.
The question basically is that, I was just appreciating the fact what you're doing, first of all. My question would be, what you are doing. You're also taking care of Indian context, you're also taking care of modern techniques, you're also experimenting with materials, you're also experimenting and perhaps challenging how furniture is seen in the market as in general. So, how do you look at things that way? Because the kind of things that are coming in, and then you want to come out and invent something completely out of the box, which people can't even imagine कि ऐसा भी कुछ हो सकता है. This is not something that generally end consumers would imagine, right? And then you're playing with different materials instead of just putting a metal ki patti and doing this, doing that, the general people are doing. So, what is the thought process in Devyani's mind? Okay, while coming up with and experimenting with so many different things and blowing people's mind.
Okay, so since you brought up Kirti Nagar and cut, copy, paste as a word, I think it's a major problem in the market. It's very demeaning to the creative minds that have actually created that. Even if someone who's sitting in Italy or China, whatever, it is very disheartening to see someone copy someone's work blatantly. And even in materials which it is not meant to be. I think it's very disheartening. Like that was, I think I was having a conversation once and I said, I think the first day I will cry in a long time is when I see my furniture being copied and copied horribly. If it's copied well, I will go. I wouldn't say it has been copied in the sense it was a horrible imitation and people got to know. I'm very, very happy with the designer fraternity because people called us. They said, what has happened? And I said, listen, don't worry. And they were like, don't worry, it is a horrible imitation. It's not even worth it. So that is something that we try to make our pieces something. If you want something, come to us. If you don't have a budget, still come to us. It's not an issue. This is not what we are looking for. We're not looking to mint money. We're actually here to explore and figure out ways for you. But don't do these shady things. So, Vakr, the first thing we had thought was let's do something which is original, which is different, but also not imitable. Even if you try to do it, you won't be able to do it. If you do it, you're going to run into losses.
How did you choose the materials that you wanted to work with?
Because the design itself will tell you that. It's a round of elimination. It's such a different sort of a shape material that we want. It will tell you. So if it has to flow, then that means about, say, 150 materials that are there available in India, I'm talking about. I think about 140 are eliminated. Then out of those 10, maybe you have to see which artisan is able to work in it. Maybe we've tried 5 different materials, it has failed. It depends on that. But the shape, the design will tell you what material it should be. It should never be the other way around. If you design for the material, fine, then maybe it comes out differently. But we always first find out the context that we want. Which sort of maybe like the next series we'll be releasing, which we're very, very excited about. We're actually exploring the material in that. We are very, you'll be able to see that as well, that it's the materiality that we're exploring. In Leher, we've been exploring morphology. It's the morphology that we're exploring. So it depends on the the concept that we have thought of. So yeah, in this case also about 5-6 materials failed. It was the 7th material, 8th material which worked for us over here. But all of them again were artisan based. It was not something like, just kisko aise karke chipka do or something. It doesn't work that way. It shouldn't work also that way. And I would like to also say now, there has been a massive explosion in the market in terms of now people know, thanks to social media and people like you, they know what material is available, what sort of different sort of products are available in the market. They've done their research. They come with research now. They want to know things, but they're also very certain हमें ये चाहिए.
Okay. So if somebody is coming to Vakr, we want to get furniture done by you. Okay. What would you tell them? Like, how would you guide them if, let's say I'm coming to you, Devyani, मुझे आप पूरा explain करो कैसे करना, I'll just take your call. How would you explain things to them? How do you source furniture? What are the things you need to look at?
So basically, Vakr furniture is statement furniture first of all. If you fill the entire room with Vakr, it will look like our store, which frankly we want, so let us know. But these are statement pieces and they look the best when they are combined with some pieces which are which complement the space basically. It has to be a symphony. It just can't be, everything is not a focus point. So when they come to us, first of all, one has to be very clear because we're doing different type of furniture. Generally, people have come to us with designers on board, honestly. B2C, we've dealt very less. And people who have come to us again, they're very certain. हमें ये वाली चीज यहाँ चाहिए और ऐसे चाहिए. We are very comfortable, and generally people who want the whole thing done, we tell them that you take a designer on board. You would get a better outcome. Because these pieces cannot be put just like that. They need some sort of coordination, some sort of space aesthetics. It has to come out that way.
If any, let's say, end consumer is coming, a B2C person is coming to you, then what would be like 5 tips or 5 guidelines that you would tell them to source furniture for them?
I would tell them again, research is important. Know what you're buying. Like I said, the market has exploded with so many different types of pieces, furniture, and I think the homegrown brands are doing fabulous job these days. Every piece these days, especially the furniture market, everyone has started experimenting with different types of shapes, furniture, materials. So I think it's a good space to be in right now. So the 5 tips I would do is do your research. Know what you're buying. It is good to know that. I mean, later on, there's no point complaining. The information is there. Information is there, and no one is forcing you to buy anything. Just do your research.
And understand what kind of, how many people do we have? Do we have children? Do we have pets?
Correct.
You need to take these points into consideration that who am I buying for?
Correct. Second, I would say there is nothing known as no maintenance. No maintenance does not exist. And secondly, low maintenance, everything cannot be low maintenance, then you will have something which is ordinary. then don't come to brands which are doing something which is extraordinary.
And I say this a lot, you buy a car, you have to maintain it.
To maintain it.
Same thing applies to your home, you have to maintain it.
Correct. It's not a self-cleaning, furniture is never self-cleaning.
Yeah.
Nothing is self-cleaning. So low maintenance doesn't exist for everything. Some things require extra maintenance. Again, do your research about it. If it's a statement piece, please take care of it. You bought it with a lot of love, lot of research. So take care of it. It requires maintenance. Third, I would say aesthetics. Not everyone has self-awareness is required. Again, get designers on board. One thing to look good. Reach out to the correct people to get that thing going for you. I think that's very, very important. And these days, there's just because you see things on Pinterest, folks think Pinterest do not follow.
Yeah.
It is not true.
Don't go for trends. Go for things that really reflect your story.
Correct.
Maybe who you are or what background you come from.
That would be my first point, that know who you are, what space do you want. Again, that comes into that first point only. Research. What is it that you're looking for? It's a sub point, but definitely online, Pinterest, if that space worked in that corner for someone, does not necessarily mean it's going to work for you as an end consumer. So please be careful of what you see, what you want, and how to get it executed. You need correct teams these days to execute what you want. So I think these are the 4 or 5 points I would definitely say is required.
If I am a budding designer trying to explore furniture design as a career option, what would you suggest me?
I would say get the right internship. There are a lot of, so Vakr gets a lot of applications as interns, people want to join us. But the key factor I see over here is that people don't realize you're a homegrown brand. We started from scratch. We're not an export house. We're not a multi-millionaire conglomerate. You cannot, and we are not. We're not. How do you say? We're not a product. We're not Philips. We're not something else. So you are coming to learn. When you are learning something, don't look at the pay package. Don't look at the working hours. Learn. This is your time to learn. So as interns, I would say if only and only you have the passion, because it requires a lot of passion, a lot of patience. It's not going to be overnight.
The biggest benefits of working with a homegrown brand is you learn things hands-on that you would not otherwise with the established companies.
Correct.
You're just working on drawings.
Yeah, even if you're working on drawings day and night, the fact remains that focus is not on becoming big. It's on learning. There is a disconnect these days that we've spent so much that you want instant ROI. Today's generation wants instant ROI. There is again nothing instant, guys. So that's not going to happen. If you want to earn money, there's nothing wrong in it. That's what you want. But again, no. Self-awareness is very important. So I think somewhere it is very difficult for these two things to meet. I'm happy and glad if it works for you, but at least that should not be a criteria in the beginning. It might be after 6 months, 1 year, we get it. It's a personal opinion, but I would say that time people say, "Man, we really want to learn such huge emails we get. We want to learn, we want to do this." And the moment we say, "Listen, it's a homegrown brand. These are the working hours. This is a silence." Silence. So I think that this generation needs to realize that ROI will come, but give it time. Be patient, learn, and create something unique. You can create run of the mill. You will be able to earn, but you must get up one day in your life and be excited. That excitement has to remain, and that excitement will come from creativity, creating something new. Like I'm looking forward to making this. I'm looking forward, to
Yes, I got that is in your voice.
So that kind of excitement, it doesn't come from this India. I don't think so. I remember saying that ever. So that excitement has to be there. That is what I look for in interns. That excitement.
See, the excitement is in your voice while talking about this right now. This is the excitement in you. Okay, so what are we going to see next at Vakr?
Like I said, this is the next work that we're going to see, where we're exploring this. I'm not going to diverge too much because I'm looking for like a wow.
Yeah.
So yes, again we're looking at we're exploring lights now. We're looking at something which is lights actually has always been a part of our furniture. Some way or the other we introduce it. I don't know why. It's something that we don't start with, but somehow in the end we do introduce these because lights I think is very very attractive. It sort of defines the mood of the space. So
we are going to have a look at statement lighting.
Statement lighting pieces is what we're looking at, and pure artisan work. Pure artisan work is what we're aiming at, and we're looking at unveiling it in Feb March next year. Hopefully, we're gunning for that. Let's see. But yeah, it's gold.
Even if it is gold in golden color, as long as it is artisan, it is contextual, I think.
Oh, it's going to be massively contextual. Like we have gone on that. Like it's going to be like this is contextual, guys. Like there is no doubt this is from India.
I have one last question. Technology and materials.
Yes.
Right? You are exploring so much with materials and there's just so much going on. And technology also is exploring a lot in terms of, the entire AEC industry in general. So do you think you'll be adapting more of technology in the future to, come up with something different? Like right now your furniture, then you'll have lights, and then perhaps something else that we couldn't even think of.
No, definitely technology is now, it was yesterday and it is tomorrow. Technology is something you have to go hand in hand with to grow as a brand also. But technology is right now also the backbone of Vakr. What people don't know is we use extensive computer aided drawings. So we teach artisans how to use that. That is how. See, with artisans, you can make one piece, two piece, but to sustain yourself over the years with the same design, technology and computerization is required. It cannot be so. So yes, it is the backbone of Vakr in terms we do use technology a lot in terms of and we teach the artisans
of the envisioning part of it, not the execution.
No, execution as well. That is, see, if production has to happen in a specific time. The artisan has to work according to some drawing. It can't be भाई आज ये मूड करा तो ये बना दिया, आज बतख बना दिया, आज कुछ बना दिया, ऐसे तो नहीं चल सकता है. He is working according to something, so and it has to be produced again and again. Today you have seen a piece at an exhibition. You want the same piece. If it's not the same piece, you're gonna call up and say, "Devyani, it's not the same piece. What happened?" And I can't say, "Listen, artisan was in another mood that day." No. So computerization in production is technology driven and it is the backbone of Vakr. How we do it, we teach the artisan how to read these drawings. They actually follow drawings in terms of production. This is this is the drawing. At some case they want tweaking, we introduce that. But it has to follow production line. Otherwise, how will it work? So it is the backbone and we will keep on moving forward with it. As technology evolves, we will also evolve with it. How and when, it depends. How is the big word over here.
I think it's more about exploring the technology instead of being purely dependent on it to build it.
Definitely.
One question. The story of this tiny thing.
Oh, it's the cutest thing. I love it. It's so, it's again made by artisans. It's just wood. And if I could zoom this in somehow, so you would actually see it is done by an artist with just nail on wood. He's carved it and this is just garam nail which he has done to etch this entire thing. So we met this artist. We saw it somewhere. We actually met him and now these are called Vakr birds. This is the cutest little thing and if you can see it's very simple. He's just twisted wires around to make this bird. Very, very simple tools he's used and every bird is different. Every bird, every shape, every size again is different. So it tells the story of Vakr in a bird, it's really nice. Very, very cute. So this one is very, very different. So I think, these are Vakr birds. You can also get them on order, but yes. You'll see them in all the exhibitions and everywhere. This is like very cute.
Alright, rapid fire.
Oh,
So
very cool.
I'll ask you like 4-5 questions and you have to answer within 10 seconds. Okay. Who would be your dream client?
My father.
Oh God. Parents are the most difficult to work with.
Exactly. So the day he compliments, I'm like, wow.
Okay. A material that is overrated. 3 words to define Vakr.
Unlimitable, it is. Guys, come on, I'm under a lot of pressure. Innovative and crafted.
What is something you wish clients knew about the effort that go into each piece?
Time and energy and the effort of the artisan, honestly. I mean, they are highly this thing कि ये तो किसी ने बनाया है, इसमें क्या है, but the effort that goes into it, they don't know. If they do it someday with their own hands, they'll get to know how difficult it is.
One mistake a furniture designer should never make.
Copy.
I think that goes on for everyone.
Yeah, being inspired by something. Inspiration. Yeah, inspiration never works.
No, I think we'll have जैसे चांदनी चौक में होता है ना मनीष मल्होत्रा का ड्यूब, साबिसाची का ड्यूब, so then we'll have Vakr का ड्यूब.
Kabhi nahi, please, yaar.
So that means you're growing that big, no? That's why that is happening. I did not know dupe was a thing up till 3 years back.
Dupe as in
Duplicate.
duplicate, yeah, but it's there everywhere. And like I said, a good duplicate I would appreciate, but cheap, horrible duplication is disheartening. It's like slapping the creator on the face, saying that listen, I can make it cheaper and way worse than you. We're like would buy it. And when people buy it, it's even worse.
Alright, I think we're done with today's conversation. Thank you so much for having us.